Recovery is a lifelong journey. Because it will include setbacks, which we all experience in life, and even relapse. The best chance at successful recovery requires aftercare planning, a range of recovery supports for your loved one, and of course, ongoing support and self-care for you.
Aftercare is the care after you leave the treatment facilities, and what we ask is that you follow the process and that you commit to the program.
First, acknowledging the fact that treatment happens in facilities and recovery and wellness happen in communities.
Aftercare planning for me is looking at the whole person and everybody that's connected to that whole person and every system that's connected to that person, because that's going to help them stay stable in their recovery process.
Recovery supports are very important to every phase of the recovery journey.
It's not just the substance use. Some people just focus on the substance use, right? So it's important to make sure that we have stable housing, inclusive services for people transitioning out of treatment. But most of all, what resources are you connected to?
Because our lives are so complex, recovering from a chronic disease like addiction will take time. But it is possible with a range of recovery supports that address mind, body, and soul.
Remember, substance use is a biopsychosocial disease. No one wakes up and says, hey, I want to go and trick on Tioga because I want to have a habit that I need to support. So really understanding the biopsychosocial of that disease and surrounding your supports and getting your resources, such as your social determinants of health, making sure you have your PCP that understands your needs, not just your substance use needs, but also your physical health, your mental health. Making sure like you have a peer support in place.
You go into a certain facility and there may be groups daily. You may be able to, you're going to talk with a counselor. And then if you're dealing with a mental health issue, they would connect you with that process that'll help you deal with the mental health.
Families that have successfully been through it have learned that recovery includes setbacks and challenges. Relapse is not a failure, but is considered a step on the path of behavior change. If your loved one relapses, that doesn't mean that they are back at square one. They, and now you, have useful knowledge about the process, and maybe even some of the pitfalls. As they pick up and move forward, those insights can help things go better next time.
People don't understand how the brain works either. The brain, the way how it heals and functions, right? So most people, when they come into recovery, they go through post-acute withdrawal, even in their early recovery. And it's not even just physical withdrawal from the substance. I may have 4 months clean time, but guess what? My central nervous system still feels a little bit imbalanced. So I may still become moody. I may have problems with sleeping. I may really think about self-sabotage because something in my body doesn't feel what used to be normal. People look at relapse as picking up a substance, right? Relapse is really about your behavior. Do I have behaviors that's going to lead me to relapsing and picking up a substance? So we're asking people who come into treatment with 6 months clean time to really expedite the healing of their brain and be functional the way how we perceive as what functional is. That's unrealistic. And so how can I acknowledge those behaviors and be prepared to have a relapse prevention plan, have supports in place, and having someone who can hold space for you without judgment.
In the end, there is success, but to get there, it takes many kinds of recovery supports for your loved one, including the highly effective 12-step model.
The 12-step meetings are the keys to survival. Narcotics Anonymous and Alcoholics Anonymous, Cocaine Anonymous. You know, there's all sorts of programs. There's more people that goes to 12-step meetings from the treatment process and staying clean than any other process that I know. It's a big difference when you see somebody that has been successful in the process of treatment and you know that they used to be like you were. Chase the meetings like you chase the drugs. You get a meeting list. You find out where the 12-step programs are, because that's going to give you support you need. That's where you're going to see people that are like you, that have lived like you used to live, and that have gotten better. You're also getting educated on what to do when you go back into the environment. They're going to give you the information that you may need, that you will need, to be successful.
Finding the best recovery supports that work for your loved one can make a life-saving difference. At the same time, we understand that dealing with your loved one's struggles has likely been stressful, if not traumatic, for those who care about them. In the next section, we talk about social supports and self-care that you can tap into.